I'm finally going to be checking out the boys' latest album, Unexpected, and it was very unexpected to me. I did not expect an OT11 comeback before Sangyeon enlisted, and like he's gone. But there's still some promotional activities that he did before he left. So after I go through the album, I will be able to start watching the rest of the content. So let's go. First track is actually Feel the Bass, not the title track, which I kind of like, you know. I feel like putting the title track as the first one is kind of expected, and if putting another song first gives the track list a better flow, then I'm all for that. So this appears to be a unit song by Jacob, Juyeon, Kevin, Sunwoo, and Eric. Interesting. Let's go. I'm feeling something, but I don't think it's bass. Oh, okay, I feel it.
Can you feel the bass? 떨리는 total face. Drum and boom bam. 발맞춰 to the dance. Always the man 앞에 뒷줄은 생략해. 한 방에 home base. 도착난 home you better run. 난 upload 난 숨쉴 틈이 없지 lately. Out my side 어딜 막니 어딜 감이 yeah. You feel the bass under my stage yeah. You know that driving you crazy.
I was not expecting it. I mean, with a name like Feel the Bass, I should have known, but that's groovy, man.
Get low. You know that driving you crazy. Get low. 다가와서 just bounce back. I could bear 돼. 넌날 믿으면 돼. 제일 위로 baby take my hand. 올려 하늘 끝까지. Right now I feel so free. 더 크게 volume up, make them fall in love. 울려 from the ceiling to the basement. Baby, can you really feel the bass? You know I can bet it more. 알잖아 이미 널. Hey, 나는 지킨 머리 of the race. You know I can beat it more. 느껴 이 deep and strong bass. Bounce to the bass, bounce to the bass, baby. Bounce to the bass, bounce to the bass, baby. Tell me, can you really feel the bass? 원한다면 get it all. I feel the bass and know you're there. 보는 듯이 돌아왔어 이 트랙 위로. 볼륨을 크게 틀어 최대로. 앞으로 가 필요 없어 100m 내밀어 명함을 딱 버려 they need us. 비와서 on top your say 뒤로. 머리만큼 하이드를 baby로 보이도록 하는 우리들이 타는 박자를 따라오지 못하면 치기 내 박수를.
Oh, okay. That was a lot. Ooh. I really like how with the unit songs, each of the members can express a little bit more versatility. So like, you know, we get some of the rappers singing a little bit more, and like Sunwoo and Eric do have very melodic singing voices, and I think like Jacob and Kevin have also done some like rapping before, even though I would say that their position is more firmly vocalist. But yeah, it's really great to hear them, you know, wilding on the track. Let me go through Sunwoo's rap slowly because he was spitting bars and I was not able to read as fast as he was.
I feel the bass and know you're there. 보는 듯이 돌아왔어 이 트랙 위로. 볼륨을 크게 틀어 최대로. 앞으로 가 필요 없어 100m 내밀어.
Oh, not the business card.
명함을 딱 버려 they need us. 비와서
BOY was one of their early songs, right? Was it their debut? Baby Ro was quite funny.
Top your say 뒤로. 머리만큼 하이드를 baby로 보이도록 하는 우리들이 타는 박자를 따라오지 못하면 치기 내 박수를. Bass bumping, 어깨 chen 하는 노래 뒤로 하고 we stamping up. They talking, I'm rapping. 걸어 넘어가는 멀쩡히 내 stamina keep stomping. 무대 위로 밟아 열한 알로 riders 막아버려 무시해버려 stop sign 가.
Ooh, I love a little back and forth moment, especially like when you have like two rappers that kind of like hand off and then when they go at the same time. I like that. Eric also going very fast. I like that theme though. Like if you can't keep up, just clap along. Like yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Bass bumping, 어깨 chen 하는 노래 머리 뒤로 하고 we stamping up they talking I'm rapping 걸어 넘어가는 멀쩡한 stamina keep stomping 무대 위로 밟아 열한 알로 riders 막아버려 무시해버려 stop sign 가 Get low 내가 왔으니 just bounce back I could bet on that 넌 믿으면 돼제 위로 baby take my hand 올려 하늘 끝까지 Yeah right now I feel so free 더 크게 volume up make them fall in love 울려 from the ceiling to the basement
I was just saying, I think Juyeon and Sunwoo have really gorgeous singing voices, and of course, you know, Jacob getting time to shine with them high notes.
Baby, can you really feel the bass? You know I can beat it more 알잖아 이미 넌 hey 난 지켜 머리 of the race You know I can beat it more 느껴 이 deep and strong bass Bounce to the bass, bounce to the bass, baby Bounce to the bass, bounce to the bass, baby Tell me, can you really feel the bass? 원한다면 get it all I feel the bass and all you think I feel the bass, yeah I feel the bass, yeah I feel the bass, yeah You know we got this already I feel the bass, yeah I feel the bass, yeah I feel the bass, yeah I feel the bass, yeah
Ooh, what an ending. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. We've got the credits here. Puff Dunk. I recognize Cold. I'm not sure I recognize anyone else, but okay. We love a little club banger jam. Yeah, I definitely think that in a song like this, each of the members gets more screen time, or like, you know, gets more lines. And I really like the distribution between like the low bass melody and then, you know, some of the soaring high notes. So yeah, I like that. Let's drop a like and let's go for VVV. I feel like this big almost like disco intro with the English, like really like MC rapper kind of intro, it's definitely a throwback. Yeah. When I first watched the music video, this line, like, it reminded me of something, and I think it's in 17's song Hit, Joshua's pre-chorus. Yeah, that kind of like soaring melody. So it's a good contrast between, you know, like the kind of like soaring melody in a pre-chorus and then like a like very heavy dancey chorus.
No, I'm nervous, no front of my face. 손에 땀이 차, but I'm still cool now. 넘어져도 난 한시간 stay pure. 별보다 fly so high, brighter than the moonlight. Brighter than the moonlight. 사랑의 꿈 사이에 발걸음에 가기 위해.
One second for Hakneon there.
Yo, bring it down. Strike, 정화 밤을 가져, pop, flash, make it last. Step by step, 내 길을 달려. 상처는 drop 내가 만든 게 날 때까지 달려. Like a lover. 저 붉은 태양 아래 흐르는 담았게 달려.
was so good. Like when I first started getting into the boys, Sangin's voice really captivated me. Like it's so smooth but also like supported, and he sings a lot of high notes, but it's not like thin. You know, that's what I really like in a vocalist.
주먹들 스치는 flashback 쓰러져도 다시 up I'm reborn boom 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 내 심장이 두근거림을 안 믿어 Fragile dreams, fragile hearts Break apart, believe you're not Don't let rest no from my face 손에 땀이 차 but I'm still cool now 넘어져도 난 안식어 stay pure
I personally don't really like songs that are very like high pitched and shrill. So even when you have elements of a song, like for example the instrumental or certain parts of the vocal melody that are high pitched, I prefer if most of the song is kind of like in this chesty register. So that's what I like about this song. It's a good contrast, but it's not like overwhelmingly like in your ears.
그보다 fly so high brighter than the moonlight brighter than the moonlight 그 사이에 발걸음에 그게 위에 열어서 깨진 조각 비릴 걸어 내 발에 남은 흉터가 내 길을 열어 빛을 찾아 뛰는 내 심장을 멍이 든 날 피어난 날 이 모든 순간 터널 트라이얼 넘어져도 비친 곳 내 편이 돼 Watch me dash 다시 눈물 속에서도 난 계속 걸어내 Watch me dash 내 아픔을 들어줘 하늘을 들어 yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch me dash 다시 눈물 속에서도 난 계속 걸어내 Watch me dash 내 아픔을 들어줘 하늘을 들어
I was wondering what this reminded me of, like the drop and then the kind of like low chanting. Is this the dance move or am I tripping? It reminds me of Lady Gaga Abracadabra. So surf and serve.
그보다 fly so high brighter than the moonlight brighter than the moonlight 샤라가 꿈 사이에 발걸음에 그게 위에 겁없이 타올라
Another half a second for Hakneon there. I'll talk about that later, but I really like that kind of like, I don't know if it's a synth, but it's like in the background, which is I suppose a classier version from the SM Bed Squeak. So
Bring it out 그보다 fly so high brighter than the moonlight 겁없이 타올라 절망과 꿈 사이에 발걸음에 그게 위에
okay, so this one has that puff dunk as well. I guess I can see that it's the same composer who worked on these two songs, but let me just search something up real quick. Let's just look at this real quick. I see that Sangyeon and New have over 20 seconds, along with Sanu and Eric almost about there. I mean, of course, with the chorus and then Sanu and Eric being the main two rappers, of course they would have more lines. But if we start to look further down, you see like Younghoon, Jacob, Juyeon, Kevin, Hakneon. Like, I think having a gap of like 25 seconds between the member with the most lines and the member with the least lines is quite ridiculous, especially if we're so many years past debut. Like, I think Hakneon is a very good rapper. Like, he has a very good vocal tone and he delivers his flow in a very interesting way. So the first song that I heard from the boys was Maverick, and I really liked Hakneon's verse. Like, I thought the way he delivered it was so interesting. So obviously Sanu and Eric are very talented and I appreciate what they do, but I feel like, maybe we could have redistributed the lines a little bit. Like, I think, yeah, for a title track for a boy group that's in their like 8th, 9th year is a bit ridiculous. So, justice for my boy Hakneon, please. Yeah. Otherwise, I do like the song. I like how towards the end, look at me trying to sandwich method this. I like how towards the end, like the chorus just builds and builds, and it gets to this really like big climactic triumphant moment. So that's something we don't really see a lot of, especially with a song that is, closer to 4 minutes than 3 minutes. So good job to the boys production team in this one aspect. Next one. Oh, okay. I was not expecting this song to be like this, especially coming off of Feel the Bass. Feel the Bass and VVV. So, okay.
싫지 않은 요즘이 된 것 같아. You never know. 무겁던 맘이 한결 가벼워진 그런 하루를 맞이해. Oh baby, 널 따라 걷다 보면 걱정은 다 사라져. 긴 밤의 끝을 환히 비춰주는 unicorn. You're light on my world. Will you be mine? Oh.
Whoa, I was not expecting this. So to go from 2 songs that were very like electronic heavy to something that's a little bit more like R&B, and then to start off with Jacob's voice with like that kind of like muted sound. I don't know how to describe it. It's like distant, and then the song actually kicks in, and then to Sanu's low singing voice. Ooh, wow, I do like it.
I can't explain this feeling. 수놓인 벽을 안에 눈을 감춰. Can't take my eyes off you. 길었던 하루 끝에서 나를 안아줘, baby. I never felt this feeling.
Okay, this is like they're crooning. Okay, wow, it feels so like velvety on my eardrums.
Girl, 나는 종일 하늘만 올려다봐. 저기 저 별에 너의 눈을 닮아. 바라만 봐도 깊이 빠져버린 나인 girl. Baby, it's true. 유난히 밝은 저 별자리는 beautiful. 말하지 않아도 너란 걸 알 수 있어. I'm only yours. 네가 맘한 곳은 너를 물들어.
Oh, wow. It's so melodic, and it's like a tinkling piano kind of sound. I'm just talking out of my ass, but that's what it's giving me. Sorry about that. Wow. We're hearing beautiful singing from the people we know can sing, and from even like some of the rappers to people who don't usually do like very melodic singing kind of stuff. So wow, I'm really liking this so far, but can I just say I haven't heard my boy Hakneon on the track yet, so
explain this feeling. 수놓인 별들 아래 눈을 맞춰. Can't take my eyes off you. 길었던 하루 끝에서 나를 안아줘, baby. I never felt this feeling.
Yes, I really like the soaring melodies, and it's really good to hear, first of all, Young Hoon getting his justice as a vocalist. I don't know his official position, but he is a vocalist and he has a beautiful singing voice, so like let's let him sing. And then to hear Juyeon and Q singing more on the track as well, and they sound beautiful. Like, let's stop objectifying them just as main dancers. Like, they do contribute vocally very much to the song. But like, where is my boy Hakyeon? Oh. Was he busy? Did he just have like 1 hour to pop into the studio and record for this whole album? I see Jacob is one of the composers here, and lyrics were done by Sun Yoon, so I do think the lyrics are very beautiful. I'm just seeing here the song is 2 minutes 26 seconds. I'm all over the place with this, but okay. It is a beautiful song. It is a nice kind of like, I guess, interlude, especially if the rest of the album follows more of that kind of like electronic dancey vibe. It is very beautiful musically and lyrically. Okay, I enjoyed that. It will be on the playlist. It'll be on repeat for sure. So, alrighty. Okay, a theatrical moment.
같은 순간들은 희미해진 허상 같아. So many paths, I'm in a trap. 미로 속에 갇혀. So blue.
I was not expecting that. Hello, Taemin Guilty. Poison apple, you want to take a bite? Wow, okay. I'm trying to think back on like the progression of the song so far. Okay. Almost a bit like Rat in the Trap. New slower register.
So many paths, I'm in a trap. 미로 속에 갇혀. So blue. 난 속에도 꺼지지 않는 순간. 그럴수록 널 향한 갈증은 더 심해져.
Oh, whoa. So this, maybe not the most popular opinion, but I am a very big appreciator of Kingdom Legendary War, as well as Road to Kingdom. So obviously that it was a very good opportunity for the boys. It was a difficult process, and there was definitely lots of drama going on, but I think that it did give them a lot of publicity, and a lot of good things happened from there. So one of those things would be their very theatrical performances, their recognition for being a very strong performance-oriented group. So this really plays into that vibe. Like it's dramatic, it's a little sexy. Okay. Okay.
This love is something 위험한 끝을 알면서도 뜨거운 물 들어가 자동하게 빠져들어 I'm all yours 날 이끌어줘 영원한 악몽 속이라 해도 This love is something This love is something 열릴 듯 열리지 않아
like to thank the boys and the relevant gods that made this just happen for me. That was impeccable. So many different members, and of course starting it off with Sangyeon, Juyeon, Hakyeon. Okay, they did this for me. Favorite track, I'm calling it now.
깨고 싶지 않아 밤새 뒤척이잖아 다가갈 때마다 난 도대체 내 사랑을 짓눌러버리고 날 집어삼켜 괴롭힐수록 more is being 붉게 탄 기억이라도 가져갈 테니 더욱 가빠진 숨결 홀린 듯이 널 향한 갈증은 더 심해져도 This love is something 위험한 끝을 알면서도 얘도 물들어가 지독하게 빠져들어 I'm all yours 날 이끌어줘 영원한 악몽 속이래
Hakyeon sounds so good too. Oh my goodness. He has such a low raspy voice. Oh, okay. I'm going to take a moment to sit with this because I don't know how many more other moments we're going to get. Hakyeon. Oh, okay, that's a sensitive gesture. Let's hear that again.
지독하게 빠져들어 I'm all yours 날 이끌어줘 영원한 악몽 속이래 This love is something This love is something 열릴 듯 열리지 않는 문 열어줘 너희들 그곳이 heaven 아득히 멀어져가네 닿지 못할 걸 알면서도 바라보네 거부할 수 없는 유혹 더 깊어져 This love is something 위험한 끝을 알면서도 얘도 물들어가 지독하게 빠져들어 I'm all yours 날 이끌어줘 영원한 악몽 속이라
This is that for me.
This love is something This love is something 열리지 않는 문 열어줘 너 있는 그곳이 heaven
Oh. Is that like Sangyeon? Well, Sanyun, not familiar with him, but so far he's 2 for 2 on the lyrics. Looking at the composers and producers, I believe this is I was going to say imported, but it's a song that they bought from someone else, so interesting. I will have to look up these people because they did a very good job. And it's a long ass song too, like they really let it marinate in there. Before we get into this, that was really good. I feel like we're in the sexy sultry section of the album now, so am I ready? No. Are we gonna carry on? Yes.
거침없이 내 맘속에 들어와 매혹적인 짙은 향기만 남겨놓고 날 떠나가 Cause you got that you know 헤어나올 수 없어 시간이 지나
Hang on. The time signature on that was a little wonky.
거침없이 내 맘속에 들어와 매혹적인 짙은 향기만 남겨 상박해 내게 남긴 너의 흔적들은 never leave 아픔 따윈 익숙해 언제 그랬냐는 듯이 disappear without a warning.
Ooh, I really like the smooth transition from the chorus into the next verse. And wow, okay, this 3-track run from Starry Night to Ain't Salty to Rose, wow, this is like it's a very rich sound that kind of like echoes and resonates, and I really like that personally.
깊숙하게 파고들었지 No one to feel you around you Feeling it there like some kind of ghost 돌이키기 위한 늦었단 걸 알아 I've been waiting for your attention Girl, no 미안해려고 할수록 내 주위를 더 맴돌아 널 가질 수만 있다면 내 모든 걸 줘 시들지 않게 아름답게 피울래 가져 pretty like a rose 방울은 취해 가볍고 fast but no one compare 날이 선 네 눈빛 말투마저도 날 미치게 해 I'm falling down Let me know baby I wanna know if you care Hey yeah yeah
Oh, okay. Before we get into what I already know is going to be an incredible heavenly Sangyeon bridge, I really think that the boys are underrated as vocalists, as singers. Like, there are many of them who have angelic singing voices, and it is their official position, like they are vocalists. But I feel like I don't really see the boys and the members recognized as like vocal powerhouses. Like, I don't really see them on those like ranking lists and all that, which is crazy because like, are we hearing this? You know, I think as a group, of course, you know, with the number of members they have and with their focus on like strong performances, that's what they're kind of known for, and they do tend to put out more like bops, you know, as their title tracks. So I can understand why maybe the general public isn't so aware of them as vocalists, but like, come on man, like open your ears, okay?
I wanna know if you care Hey yeah yeah 시간은 너에 따라서 흐르고 멈춰 깊게 새겨진 네 silhouette I can get you out of my mind Give me a call 또 원하는 뭐 내 안을 열어줄래 저 느껴본 감정이 낯설지만 It's more than love 내 모든 걸 줘 시들지 않게 아름답게 피울래 Cause I feel it like a rose 방울함에 취해 가려도 fast but no one compare 날이 섰니 눈빛 말투마저도 날 미치게 해 I'm falling down Let me know baby I wanna know if you care Hey yeah yeah
Look me in the eye, but you show me no shame. We don't play no game, but you know we're both the same. Now I'm on the town like I ain't heartbroken. Drink away the pain till you come over.
Ooh, wow. Okay, I see that they've been working with Sun Yoon a lot for this, and Puff. Have I seen Puff before in the previous ones? Okay. Okay, I like where this is going. And for now, can we say thank you to New Jam for these lyric videos? Very pretty, very helpful. Thank you. Whoa. The boys' vocalist era, like, oh my god. So I missed them on their previous tour because they didn't come to Singapore, which I'm still salty about. Like, next time, okay?
눈을 떼지 못하는 movie yeah. 처음 그 순간 I'm addicted 그저 멍하니 서 있을 뿐 Give me love at the moment 타오르는 이 spark of love Nothing's impossible Take it close to you babe All I want to say is Anything you want is ready 너와 눈을 맞춰준다면 I can make you feel I'm the one that'll never let we go
All men do is lie.
I'm the one that'll never let we go rock and roll I'm 멈추기 같은데도 Girl I'm about to know it 너 처음 본 순간부터 We go rock and roll 나는 나만의 꿈 Locked and never low 두려운 나가 돼 Yeah yeah Girl you're rocking me I can never sleep
You see, the thing with metaphors and euphemisms is that they're supposed to be indirect. Freaky ass boy group.
Yeah, locked and loaded, yeah, 말해 뭐든지, yeah. 올려보자 bass, call me everything, 좀 더 솔직히 강대로 마음이, 언제든지 rolling with me, no stones. If you go stroke, 바로 hit the drum, oh. We don't need to hurry, 움직여 slow-mo. 재미없는 것들 전부 치우고. All I want to say is anything you want is ready. 나 눈을 맞춰준다면 I could make you feel Yeah, I'm the one that would never
Now you see, he is not E-wording, so I believe him. Hyunjae on the chorus is quite lethal.
Starlight, baby, let's rock and roll. 춤추자 이 밤이 가도록. Starlight, baby, let's rock and roll. 아름다운 우리 둘의 멜로디. Starlight, baby, let's rock and roll. Move that 가벼워진 맘으로. Starlight, baby, let's rock and roll. 만들어갈 우리 둘만의 movie, yeah. We can rock and roll.
I like that previous section where they kind of like pass between the members, you know, one line at a time. I like that.
I'm not trying to do Girl, I'm locked and loaded 널 처음 본 순간부터 We can rock and roll 나는 나만의 꿈 Let them never love 단 내가 돼 Rock and roll Rock and roll
Ooh. Hyunjae has been campaigning for sex symbol status for a while, and I think he deserves it. Wow, okay, so this is, even though the title is rock and roll, I feel like the genre is like closer to Latin, especially with that guitar, but at the same time it has a darker sound because of the bass. So okay, yeah, I mean, hey, we love a sexy song.
Yeah 영원할 리가 없지 Yeah 단 하나도 기억할 시간 없지 Yeah 결국엔 다 사라져
Ooh, so far this is giving me kind of like mid 2000s pop punk emo kind of vibe, you know, like they're a bunch of like angsty teenagers in a in someone's like parents' garage starting a band.
내가 이미 너무 잘 알아서 있는 대로 못 받아들여 너 몰라 내가 예전과 똑같다는 걸
Almost like a slightly grungier version of Nectar.
많이 변했다고 하지 넌 보이는 것들만 보니까 겁이 나지 내게 다가오기가 여전히 나는 너에게 자유로운데 다쳐간단 걸 나는 모른대 때문에 너가 다쳤었단 걸 나는 모른대 넌 네 맘에 안 드는 나에 대해 나쁜 소문대 난 나쁜 놈이 됐어 네 주위 모두에게 난 나쁜 놈이 됐어 네 주위 모두에게 넌 내 얘기를 하고 있었어 내가 보기에 겨웠다면서 그 사람들은 우릴 도와주지 못해 우릴 도와주지 못해 내가 얼마나 더 나쁜 놈이 돼야만 너가 좀 더 괜찮아질까 생각해 이 밤이 지나면 돌아갈 수 있을까 좋아할 수 있을까 어제 싸우기 전처럼 제발 미안해하지 마요 너랑은 이제 남이니까요 뭐까지 올라왔어 이별에 돌아왔어 왜 이리 I thought that you my baby
It's almost like the midpoint between Hurt Me Less and Nectar. I really like it. We're getting into our feels now.
I thought that you could save me 나는 싸우기도 싫어 울다가 웃기도 싫어 우린 자꾸 금이 가 어쩌다가 이렇게 됐을까 우리가 말로만 아쉬운 게 없다고 말하면 내가 또 그 말에 속아 넘어갈 줄 알았니 I thought that you could save me 나는 싸우기도 싫어 울다가 웃기도 싫어 우린 자꾸 금이 가 어쩌다가 이렇게 됐을까 우리가 넌 내 얘기를 하고 있었어 내가 보기에 겨웠다면서 그 사람들은 우릴 도와주지 못해 우릴 도와주지 못해 내가 얼마나 더 나쁜 놈이 돼야만 너가 좀 더 괜찮아질까
Like, his voice is a little bit high, but at the same time he has that rasp behind that, and then when he sings in this kind of like I'm not sure if the vocal melody is like double, but there's like almost there's like a high resonance and a low resonance to it, so it sounds good.
이 밤이 지나면 돌아갈 수 있을까 좋아할 수 있을까 어제 싸우기 전처럼 망했어 자존심 상했어 I wanna be alone 난 뭐가 되겠어 내 친구들 전부 다 재수없어 I wanna be alone 넌 내 얘기를 하고 있었어 내가 보기에 겨웠다면서 그 사람들은 우릴 도와주지 못해 우릴 도와주지 못해
Oh. Okay, interesting. So the song is called Nothing. I'm not sure if there's a Korean. Okay, hang on. Let's see. Okay, I don't think there is a Korean title to it, so it's just called Nothing. Interesting. I like the end part where it's kind of like everyone singing together, so I'm not sure I'd call it choral singing, but like group singing, you know. But at the same time, it's like kind of like, you know, when you have like a flash mob or like a crowd singing together. Yeah, I like that kind of vibe, you know. It's like everyone was in the studio together, gathering around one mic. So when they sing, like the voices are indistinguishable, and it's really like a group thing, you know. Like me and my homies, we're all brokenhearted together. I liked when they said your friends are annoying. Okay, listen, from the title we knew this was going to be a sexy one, but how sexy?
red light, 넌 마치 정독되어 red light. 미로 같은 버전, perfect time, you and I, 발맞춰 dancing in the moonlight. 이러면 안 되는 girl. 뜨겁게 시선 나를 압도하는 girl. 끝끝내 옮겨가며 무릎 꿇는 날. 이미 close the feel the fever, 널 본 순간. Heart is racing faster, 불안함 취해만 가. Cause 나약하고 어리석은 연민에 빠져버린 듯. Is that so? 폭풍처럼 휩쓸리고 빼앗긴 널. Let me go. My Mr. Misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. 우린 좀 꺼졌던 감정들은 waste crime. 멀어지는 silhouette 욕망과 기대가 left me stranded on my knees. Yeah, so need ya. 여전히 난 네 손끝에.
Whoa, okay, I was gonna say just now that at first it reminded me a little bit of like a earlier TVXQ kind of vibe. Like something about the kind of like slightly more like Western hip-hop R&B adjacent kind of like vibe, you know. And like, listen, I think especially because the boys have quite a few like native English speakers, so I've always found that the way that they incorporate English into their songs is very natural sounding. And like yeah, I mean, listen, this is a song that would definitely have a lot of like Western market appeal if it was, you know, like fully in English. Not that it isn't great as it is, but you know, some people are kind of racist, so.
Stranded on my knees, yeah, so need ya. 여전히 난 네 손끝에 잡힌 순간. Heart is racing faster, 불안함에 취해만 가. Cause 나약하고 어리석은 연민에 빠져버린 듯. Is that so?
Oh, I love the internal rhyme of that. You Hulk, is that so?
연민에 빠져버린 듯. Is that so? 폭풍처럼 휩쓸리고 빼앗긴 내 heart. My Mr. Misdemeanor. 우린 좀 돌직전이야. My Mr. Misdemeanor. The way you treat me now, 변하지 않아. got me addicted to ya. Cause
This part also reminds me a little bit of Rat in the Trap, so I'm not sure if it's like a jazzy thing, or but like something that I noticed in the melody is that especially when they want to go for like a sexy concept, they tend to like glide the sound, so it's like you know, that kind of like glide between notes. So yeah, like let's just hear that again. Oh, I like this kind of like breakdown that's like sort of like beatboxing, but like, you know, with like the breath work and like the sighs and all that. Very sexy.
Misdemeanor. The way you treat me now 변하진 않아 got me addicted to you Cause baby 하고 어디서 내 믿음 빠져버린 날 Is that so baby 폭풍처럼 휩쓸리고 빼앗고 빼앗긴 내 heart 난 Mr. Misdemeanor
당연. I see the boys' core has very aptly chosen their suit photos for this. Maybe that's why it reminds me of Rat in the Trap. I like each of the songs individually, but I feel like the flow of the album has been a little bit confusing. Like, I feel like maybe this would have been better with like Ain't Salty. Yeah, it feels a little bit like an emotional roller coaster at the moment. Yeah, see, is this gonna be a ballad?
이래도 될까 싶을 정도로 너와 행복해도 될까 너도 기억나 그날 우리가 처음 만났을 때 말야 시간은 너를 봐주는 법 없이 달려만 가라고 두 눈을 다 가리고 앞만 보고 달리기만 하라고 오래된 길을 따라 그대와 마주침마다 선명하게 보이는 약속 같은 맛이 울고 싶어서 외쳐 울어도 불안해도 저 빛은 찬란한 서툴던 시간은 지나고 다음 생에도 사랑해서 넘어서
I love the melody on this.
다음 생에도 우리는 선을 넘어서
In any other group, I would say disbandment song. But I think we're safe.
바뀌어준 이야기를 노래할게 그리워하거나 사랑하게 만들어준 노래 오늘 너만 바라봐도 기뻐 더 크게 외치고 싶어 하루하루 반복되며 같은 일을 반복되게 버텨보겠다고 서로에게 가르내어주고 나서 울어버려 펑펑 힘이 우리 머리 보겠다고 서로에게 가르내어주고 나서 울어버려 펑펑 힘이 우리 머릿속은 텅텅 피워내고 싶어 콱콱 피워내고 싶어 깨어내고 싶어 너와 같이 날고 싶어 한 방울씩 떨어져 이겨주어서 너를 꽃은 예쁘게 피어나고 울고 싶어서 외쳐 울어도 불안해도 저 빛은 찬란한 서툴던 시간은 지나고 우리는 선을 넘어서 오늘 같은 날이 더 올까 따뜻한 봄이 안아준 너 영원히 내 곁에 있어줘
Wow. I feel like if I was a Korean fan or if I understood Korean, then this would really hit. Like, the reason why I just now said it feels like a disbandment song for anyone else is because it's really got that kind of like, we love our fans, we're looking back on the years of memories we've had together, so without that bittersweet tinge, then it's just sweet.
울고 싶었어 외쳐 울어도 불안해도 저 빛은 찬란한 서툴던 시간은 지나고 사랑의 손을 넘었어 시간이 지나도 우리는 영원히 너와 닮은 봄에 다시 만나기로 시간이 지나도 우리는 영원히 너와 닮은 봄에 다시 만나기로
There, you see, I feel like this would be something that they sing at a concert, and then towards the end with the group singing, with the audience singing along, it would sound really beautiful. So that's really nice. Oh wait, was that the last song? Ah, okay, that makes sense. So that was the kind of flow of the album. Alright, we want to say thank you to the Boys Core as well for these lyric videos. I find this picture of Sunwoo with the donut so interesting. Okay, overall thoughts on the album. I said it before and I'll say it again and I'll continue to say it. But sonically, I really like K-pop mini albums because I feel like they're more focused. So this album is 9 tracks and each of the tracks are pretty long. Like most of them, the average is about 3.5 minutes. So I would say it's more in line with the it's not the latest trend of having like short songs that are meant for like TikTok or going viral. So I can really feel that this is part of the boys closing a chapter and starting their new one, moving forward with the fans under a new label, which is a victory for them because given the fact that they're about to start their enlistment era, for a new label to make that investment on them, it shows that they really have a lot of potential and they're going places. Even after so many years active, they still have a long runway ahead of them. So of course, as a fan, I'm very happy about that. And listen, the music quality is good. It's always been good. The boys make really good music. It's fun to listen to. I mean the upbeat songs are vibey and dancey. The sexy songs are sexy. The ballads are touching. And they sound great throughout it all. I think, of course, as an artist, when you make an album, there's the album listening experience, which is a great experience. I mean, each of the songs were really good. I really like them. I will be listening to the album more and more to get more of a feel for each of the songs. And of course, the next thing that it makes me excited for would be a world tour. And I do mean world, okay? Please, there are many countries that would love to see you, and I think going on tour is a good opportunity for artists as well, provided the tickets are not ridiculously expensive, okay? I think it would be a good chance for like more of the locals, to get to know the boys, as performers of course, but as singers as well. I think the official rap line is Sunwoo and Eric, and they're really good. Like, don't get me wrong, I think they do participate in like rap making or lyric writing, and their flows are incredible. But I think there are other members as well, like Hakneon, Juyeon, Q, Changmin to some degree as well. Like when they do rap, like they have very interesting voices and very interesting flows. So I feel like beyond the title tracks, when it might be more important or more iconic to have like Sunwoo and Eric on it, I feel like maybe we could distribute the parts a little bit better. But that being said, I think some of the vocal standouts in this album are Younghoon, Juyeon, and Changmin. Yeah, I mean, I think those members are maybe the most... Okay, no. With Younghoon, he is a vocalist and he's very underrated. So I'm glad to see that he's getting a little bit more of his flowers. And then for Juyeon and Changmin, of course they're most known for being dancers, but I think their vocal ability, both in terms of like rapping as well as singing, are very underrated. So it's very good to see them showcase that kind of like dynamic, dynamism and flexibility, because like, I mean, listen, you can't listen to them dancing on the track, right? And I, of course, I want to hear each of the members have their own moment to shine on the album, so I feel like the track listing, okay, sorry, I'm a bit all over the place, but given that this is a full album, I feel like the track listing is a little bit confused. Like, I feel like we kind of jump from different moods and then go back. So of course I wasn't listening to it fully uninterrupted. Like, I took a little moment to give a comment in between each song, but yeah, I feel like maybe the flow of the track list and thus the listening experience could have been improved. So sometimes what I do is when I'm streaming the album, I will just change the track list to what I think is a better version. So yeah, overall I am satisfied with this comeback. I will be following their promotions. I think they've already started going on music shows. I hope they get a lot of wins for this. Keep streaming, keep voting, keep buying. I'm not sure if I'll buy the album because I have a lot of albums and a lot of things, but then again, maybe I will collect my Sangyeons. Alright. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.